You are probably not eating enough protein for fat loss, and that's why you've clicked on this video. So I'm going to talk about exactly how much protein you do need to eat and how you can easily incorporate that. Hello fam, and welcome to my channel. My name's Melissa Neal, and this channel is all about helping you, if you're a woman over 40 or like me over 50, get in amazing shape. And I cannot stress how important protein is in that mix. So when we're talking about women over 40, the two key areas are strength training and protein. And so what I absolutely find when I meet women, when I talk to women online, when women join my programs, is they're never getting in enough protein, even though they actually know the figures. Some people are actually tracking their own calories and macros, and some people, would you believe, are actually eating from a meal plan. They're still not getting the protein right. So I want to do a deep dive into it in this video so that you can get it absolutely right, because when you get it right, you're actually gonna see success. I'm gonna talk about why as well and how you can do it. So first things first, how much protein should you be getting in? Well, it needs to be 1 gram of protein per pound in your body weight. So if you're a woman and you weigh 150 pounds, you need to be getting in 150 grams of protein per day. And if you weigh over 170 pounds, because it's kind of calculated on your lean body mass, and you'll likely have less lean body mass when you're over 170 pounds, you can shoot for your goal body weight. But I would say always at least get in 150 grams of protein. It's actually not that difficult to do. I get in about 150 to 160 grams, even though I actually only weigh 120 pounds. You will notice a massive transformation in your body, and I can just put a picture up of a coaching client that I've been working with, and just in 10 weeks, by getting that gram of protein per pound in her body weight, she has seen success. And this was somebody who was actually eating really healthy on a plant-based diet before, and she just simply wasn't getting in enough protein. So it makes a huge difference. And if you take nothing away from this video, just upping your protein intake is going to really help with fat loss. So why do I say get all that protein in? Well, there are huge benefits, not just for women over 40, but for the general population. But when we reach over the age of 40 and around the time of menopause, our metabolism has really slowed down. And what protein's going to do is it's going to fire your metabolism, so you turn into a fat burning machine when you just haven't seen fat loss before. But once you're starting to increase that protein intake, it's going to really massively impact on your metabolism positively. Why? Because it takes your body longer to break down protein than it does carbohydrates and fats. So you're actually burning calories while you're eating and digesting protein. The other benefit is you are going to sustain your muscle mass, and if you're also strength training, you're going to be able to increase your muscle mass, and that in turn improves your metabolism. Just by building that muscle mass is going to improve, so your basal metabolic rate is going to be higher. You are also going to have better satiety. So what that means is you're going to reduce cravings. So if you're a person that has sugar cravings, I always say, well, make sure you're getting plenty of protein in. You're going to feel more satisfied, and your sugar cravings will reduce by increasing that protein. And in actual fact, any kind of cravings, they're going to reduce because you're going to feel less hungry by getting your protein in. Now, I'm going to talk about some of the objections women give me about why they shouldn't increase their protein intake. So the first one I'm going to talk about is finances. And it is true to say a lot of forms of protein are actually more expensive. If you're eating a carbohydrate rich diet of sort of mainly pasta and rice, yes, protein is going to be more expensive, but you want to go for those kind of cheaper types of protein. If you choose beans and lentils and you cook them yourself, that's gonna save you a massive amount of money. Now, if you have them in cans even, that's really a lot cheaper as well. But if you cook them yourself, it's a huge saving. Go for things like canned tuna, canned fish. If you're gonna eat like chicken or fish, go for the freezer items. So those are just some tips on saving costs. We've also made a video about a grocery haul in Aldi, which was a high protein grocery haul. So you might want to check that out, and I will link it at the end of this video. Secondly, people often say, oh, well, I'm vegan or I'm vegetarian, so I can't get in all that protein. It's not the case. I mean, in my meal plans, I actually have high protein diets that are either vegan or vegetarian. So it is absolutely possible, and I'm going to show you later on with a kind of list of how to structure your meals and snacks where you can see how you're going to get your protein in. So don't worry if you're vegan or vegetarian. And I will say I actually have a free nutrition guide which you can download today. It's a 29-page comprehensive guide that actually shows you how to get the protein in, but like loads of other stuff around nutrition and being over 40 and around the time of menopause. So I'm going to link it here and I'm going to link it in the description. So download that now while I'm talking, and you'll be able to see exactly how you can eat. The third problem that women talk to me about is they say, oh, well, it's going to make my calories higher. Now, what I would say to that is often women of this age are actually under eating on their calories. If you're kind of on 1200 calories or something like that, most people can afford to take their calories a lot higher. If you remember, I said earlier that eating protein in itself is actually going to improve your metabolism because you're going to be burning calories while your body is digesting protein. So there isn't really a thing to worry about with increasing calories because it's just not significant enough to worry about. So I would rather you took your calories higher and had the right amount of protein than worrying about calories. And it might be that you can just cut back on your carbohydrates and fats, for example, to achieve the right calories. Now, a fourth objection that I get is you can't absorb all that protein for muscle building. It might be the case, yes, you want to keep your protein down to about 20 to 30 grams of protein per meal. Sometimes I push mine up higher to about 40 grams per meal. And some people say, yes, you can't absorb all that protein, but we're not just trying to build muscle. We're actually using protein to keep us satisfied and help our bodies burn calories better. So it's not just the muscle building that protein is used for. So how are you going to get in all that protein? Well, I'm going to show you now how to structure your protein, how to kind of put together a meal plan, or if you're using MyFitnessPal, how to do it, what kind of food you need to be eating. Now, I'm just going to give you the protein source. I'm not going to talk about the other ingredients. So let's look at breakfast first. So what you want to be having for breakfast is something that incorporates eggs or egg whites. Maybe you're plant-based. Well, have something that includes plant protein powder. So for example, I like to mix protein powder with oats. So you want a couple of scoops of protein powder, or you could add something like Greek yogurt into your breakfast. So you want to have around about 3/4 of a cup of yogurt with your breakfast, with whatever else you want to have for your breakfast to get that amount of protein in. Then let's look at lunch. So you want to have around about 4 ounces of lean meat or chicken or fish. If you're plant-based, you want to go for 7 ounces or 200 grams of something like tempeh, tofu, beans or lentils, and those are cooked weight beans or lentils. Now you'll want to have 2, maybe 1 snack through the day. So your snack needs to incorporate some sort of protein. So go for half to 3/4 of a cup of yogurt. Again, Greek yogurt, a plain yogurt is better than having something that's already kind of got sugar and that sort of stuff in. So go for a natural yogurt, and you can add whatever fruit you want to that. Half a cup to 3/4 of a cup would be between 100 to 180 grams of yogurt. Now you could have something like cottage cheese as well, which is amazing. It's really high in protein. And again, go for half to 3/4 of a cup of that, which is 120 to 180 grams. Now, if you're plant-based, go for something like a couple of scoops or a scoop of protein powder, and you can add that into like a drink, or you can add that into like a fruit smoothie, something like that. For dinner, it's going to be the same as lunch. So you want to go for 4 ounces, which is 110 grams of some kind of lean meat, fish, chicken, could be shellfish as well. I really love eating prawns. So if you're plant-based, again, you want to be eating 7 ounces of tofu, tempeh, beans or lentils. And 7 ounces is the equivalent of 200 grams. And don't forget, that's cooked weight for your beans or lentils. That's really it in a nutshell, how to put together a meal plan. I really love tracking things on MyFitnessPal, and you really do. You want to weigh that out to make sure you're getting enough. If you don't measure it, you don't really know how much you're getting. So if it's protein powder, of course you can use a scoop. Eggs, you know, you want 2 or 3 eggs, that kind of thing. So I do hope that helps you get your protein in. I'm actually going to link at the end of this video how I get in 150 grams of protein. It's pretty simple, it's not that difficult. And once you start doing it, it becomes easy. But when you're first starting, it's quite likely that you've only been taking in something like 70 grams. And people think when they get to 100 grams, oh, that's like loads of protein, that's really high. Unless you weigh 100 pounds, which I think is about 45 kilos, it's probably not going to be enough. So increasing it, you're going to notice a massive difference. And just like a lot of my clients, just like me, you're going to be able to achieve that body transformation that you're after.